You know what? I've got a feeling about this. Hi, welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More, Work Less. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking the Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why I have this show is so that we can better understand how our minds work, make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, let me ask you a question. Have you ever made a decision based on, you know what, I got a feeling about this, disregarding all probabilities, all statistics, all facts, all data? Well, if you put up your hand, that means you are a person who falls into the neglect of probability, which is the tendency to disregard probability when making a decision under uncertainty, and is one of the most simple reasons why people regularly violate the normative ways of the rules of making a decision. So that is because we tend to like making decisions based on our emotions. We tend to like to tell ourselves that we want all the facts, we want all the information, we want all the data, we want all the numbers and all that kind of statistics, probabilities before we make a decision. However, more often than not, we tend to make a decision based on emotions. If you don't believe me, let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen that lots of people, let's say, cancel their flights on a trip because just the day before there was an accident or a crash or a plane incident? Well, most people do. They cancel all their flights and go, you know what, it's not safe right now. But the probability of that flight crashing, having an incident, or having a problem the same way that the other one is exactly the same as before. Nothing really changes. The probability is the same. But emotionally, we feel that it's no longer safe to go on that flight right after another flight had a problem. How about this scenario? Lots of people jump into investing into a startup saying, you know what, this is going to pay out big. It's going to make so much money. We're going to invest in this. And more often than not, startups don't make that success, don't become that big success story and bring in that kind of return. But emotionally, we feel that it's going to give us that big return. Why is that emotion driven so big? Well, that's because of the results of what the potential is. So let me ask you this other question. You get a choice to play this one game that lets you win $10 million. This other game that lets you win $1,000. Which one you would choose? Right away, you would choose, hey, I will play the game that will win me $10 million. Because winning that $10 million will completely change your life. You could quit your job, you could do whatever you want, you can live your life and do all the freedom that you want to do. Whereas winning that $1,000 will not change your life. You might be able to go on vacation, buy something nice, do whatever you like for that very, very short period of time, that one instant, and then go back to your normal life. Now, even if I added in the probability of winning that $10 million is 1 out of 100 million, whereas winning that 1,000 is 1 out of 1,000. People still go, you know what, I'm going to take my chances. I got a feeling about this. I'm going to win that $10 million. That's why there's so many people buying 649s, scratch tickets, because of that emotional draw of what will happen if you do in fact win that grand prize, and your life will change forever. Even if winning that $1,000 is 10 times greater than winning that $10 million. But people still choose the bigger one because of that emotional draw. Now, why is that? Because our emotions kind of dictate what we want to do. And that's when we start neglecting the probability. We start neglecting the statistics, the numbers, all that other stuff, because our emotions drive what we want to do. If you don't believe me, let me put you another scenario. In professional football, soccer, the goaltender basically has to guess what the kicker is going to do in the penalty kick. The penalty kickers are so successful usually that they normally score 75% of the time. But still, it's always good to up that probability of scoring, would you say? Well, the thing is, because of how fast these kickers are kicking, the goaltender can only guess which way to go. And because the majority of the people have a stronger right foot, that means there's a good tendency of them kicking to the left corner. So sure enough, if you look at the statistics of penalty kicks, the goaltender would probably guess and jump to the left-hand side 57% of the time. And then they would jump to the right-hand side 41% of the time. Well, if you put those two numbers together, that's 98% of the time that they're not where? They're not in the middle. That means there's only 2% chance that they're going to be standing in the middle. Yet, even if the kickers know the statistic, they will still kick to the left or the right. Rarely do ever kick down the middle. And here are the numbers on that. If the goaltender guesses wrong, there's 90% chance that the person will score, upping their 75% up to 90%. But if you kick down the middle, you could increase your probability of scoring by a lot. Like I said before, 98% of the time that goaltender is not there. And sure enough, all the penalty kickers who kick down the middle will score 83% of the time. But only 17% of the chance of the people would actually kick down the middle. So why is that? Even if they know that their probability of scoring is higher if they kick down the middle. Well, that's because of the emotions. They think about this scenario. If they kicked it to the left, to the right, to the top corner, whatever it is, and the goaltender stops it, man, everybody else is going, wow, what an amazing save. The goaltender guessed right and did an amazing job. If the kicker kicked to the left and the right and missed, oh, it's a tough kick. Good on him for trying. But if that kicker kicks down the middle and goaltender doesn't even move and they stop the ball, while everybody's going, oh, the kicker didn't even test the goalie, just gave it to him. What a waste. And it's that sense of ridicule, that emotional ridicule by everybody else chanting, screaming, yelling at them. That's why they still kick to the left, to the right. Takes the tougher challenge, even if they know, based on statistics, based on probability, that it's better to kick down the middle. But they don't because of that emotional draw. And that is, again, another example of neglect of probability. So hopefully you understand what is the neglect of probability now, and you have learned something about it today. And I hope that you put it into your daily lives, because we have to stop thinking emotionally too much. We have to take a step back, look at the numbers, assess the risk, and kind of look at the core of what we're actually looking at, so we can actually make the right decision and not base it on an emotional draw. We have to stop thinking about the big picture of what the results are and really assess what the risks are that potentially will get us to the big results. Yes, there's going to be some give and take, but we still need to look at it a little bit more. And another thing is give a factor of safety. Give yourself some comfort level as to what kind of risk you're willing to take, and give yourself some safety margin so that you're not making the wrong decision 100% based on emotions. So hopefully you like this episode on unlocking the mind behind Make More Work Less. And if you did, please go back and watch some of my other episodes on unlocking the mind. And if you like this show, we have a lot of other shows: the Peak Potential Success Show, the Master Mind Bites, and of course, the Make More Mind Bites that's up every single week. So until next time, thank you very much for your subscriptions, your likes, your comments. I love seeing your comments. Until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you later.